you must spend time attuning yourself to the frequency of that in which you already have in order for it to be expressed. The mind is what creates. All is mind. All is mind. All is mind. You have to know this. You have to clear space out for what you say that you want. Most people don't want to clear out space. They don't want to let go of their tangibles. They don't want to let go of the feel goods to this body. You must die to yourself. It's the only way. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the channel Instructions for Humanity. Today, we're going to talk about how God, Source, paid all my bills. Let me introduce myself. I was going to sing that, but I won't. This is your girl, Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I am the author of The Great Expansion, a cosmic Bible for the ages. Details are down below. Pick that up on Amazon. I'm also a spiritual quantum healer, guys. So I help you guys to remove soul tears, soul ties, generational curses, ancestral trauma, and so much more. I'm doing half off of my quantum telekinetic reading, so go ahead and book that. Details are down below, and you can always email instructions4humanity@gmail.com, guys. The new year is coming up, and I want you guys to bask in this energy. I want God to pay all of your bills. And so today I'm going to tell my story about my 33-day fast, guys, how I did a 33-day fast. Combination of 24 days was strictly water. And then the other days was a combination of some green juice, coconut water, and some fruit juices, right? And I think you guys all know, I'll link the other video of why I embarked on this journey, this 33-day fast. Why 33? Because 33 was a very, poignant number that really Source came up with, because I had been trying to heal from a marriage, a divorce. And Source said, you have to fast from the day you met to the day you guys got married, which was 33 days. And I had no idea how within these 33 days that my life would be completely transformed. So please, guys, subscribe to the channel, guys. Help your girl out, right? So I do want to say that I'm not new to fasting. Actually, when I fasted for weight loss around the year of 2020. So let me tell you what happened. So COVID hit, a little thing called COVID hit, and we were all on lockdown. And I was really, really overweight at that time. But what happened during COVID was, I don't know how, girl, but I gained like 40 pounds in a few months. It was something unbelievable. I also think it was like hormonal as well. There's a lot of shifts and changes going on, which I later came into the realization it was a spiritual awakening too. So some of the swelling and bloating and hormones and everything was me really getting acclimated to the frequency that Source would be basically would have me on to do this healing work as a spiritual quantum healer, right? So when that happened, I was like, dang, I gotta lose like 100 pounds now. Before it was just like 50 pounds I needed to lose. It was 50 pounds, but now I'm like, whoa, now it's additional 40. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. I'm just gonna round it up and lose 100 pounds and be underweight. That was my plan, just be a little underweight. So even if you gain back some weight, you'll still look okay, right? So I embarked on this journey, guys. And the first thing I did was I hit the ground running. I did a 10-day water fast, right off the bat, boom, dropped 20 pounds. And then I took a break and then I hit it again with another 10-day water fast. Boom, 1 month, 40 pounds was gone. And by then I was like, this water fast really works. So then the next month, I I went super hard and I think I lost 30, I think it was something crazy, like 30 pounds the next month. Now, mind you, I took some breaks. So the first month, that 30-day time frame could have taken me like 45 days because I had to take a break. But the time that I was actually fasting was a legit 30-day period to lose the first 40 pounds, right? And so within 3 months, I had lost almost 70 pounds. So I was almost to my goal. So that was around the holidays. So it was Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so I I fasted and I still ate throughout this period. So what I would do was I would do fasts that were like I would fast Monday through Friday and eat on the weekends. And then as I got thinner, I would basically do a 72-hour fast every week. And I'm eating more like 4 days a week, right? And so I just kept doing that. And I don't know, it took maybe 7 months and I had lost like well over, not well over, but about 100 pounds, right? So I set that up to say that I am not new to fasting. And through that time, this is what triggered my spiritual awakening. This is what triggered me being able to have the gift of sight, right? Really understanding who my ascended masters are, who are my spirit guides, right? Who is the real source, God, the most high, that everyone is praying to? Most people are not praying to the true, authentic, most high source, right? We have to understand that there are multiple energies, right? When we start to send out this frequency, right? And we want someone else to match us on the other side of our prayers. I really got to know how to actually carry a prayer through. And because a lot of prayers are not protected from the evil one. And a lot of these prayers are being answered by evil entities where you feel that it is source or God. But in truth, if you would practice discernment and really, really feel deeper into the body, you could know. Where these things are coming from. And that's what fasting really helped me to do, to understand the space that I occupy within, to understand the different minds, the different energy portals and centers in my body, because after the body has digested all the food, eaten up all of the like bad things, the dis-ease, the different pain bodies, it starts to clear out emotional trauma. This is how I started to understand this ancestral trauma that I always speak of. You can heal this with fasting, absolutely. And I've been able to break some curses on my maternal and paternal line through this 33-day fast as well, which I think I will leave about the curses that I broke and the strongholds that I was able to break. I was able to bind them, girl, into the pits of hell, right? And I think I'll save that for another video, but I want to just I set that up to just tell you that God can pay all your bills absolutely through the power of fasting, guys, the power of being intimate with self. Being intimate with self is being intimate with source. This is the key and this is the secret to truly finding God, to truly finding that source line. It's your own personal line that goes from you to source, from source back to you. And this is what fasting enabled me to do. It is a life-changing and it is very powerful. If you guys want to learn how to fast, then you can join my Ascension program. And I do have one that is 6 weeks, but it's catered really to you guys fasting, right? So we help to release your emotional traumas all the while you are fasting as well, guys. And best form of fasting is water fasting. I've done water fast. I've done dry fast as well, 7-day dry fast. I've done 30-day water fast. I love fasting. I love water fasting. So that's what we will be doing. So if you need help with that, just please email instructions4humanity@gmail.com. So I set that up to say I was already put on the vibration of having that direct line with source. So fast forward to, and me and my client was just talking about this today. Hey girl, you know who you are. How 2020 is like a replica or a repeat of 2024, is like a repeat of 2020. So we are transiting through some very, very powerful energies now, guys. We're being called into another awakening. The span of time used to be a little bit more broad. It used to work in at least like, 9 year cycles. And now that's really being shrink down, 8 or 9 year cycles. That's really being shrink down. And so there's some energy that really needs to be looked at again. Source is allowing us to look at the energy of 2020, to look at the energy of what the Rona was all about, the Rona virus. What was it truly all about? It was really about awakening. It's really about the awakening of the third eye, which I had prophesized that when President Trump gets into office, humanity will have a third eye awakening. And this is why, it's like we're at the same timeline, right? Remember when he lost in 2020? Humanity was supposed to already be on this timeline, but it's coming back again because there's something we must learn, right? We must really, really learn the lesson of the Rona. The lesson of the Rona was to awaken us to the systematic bondage that we've been in, and we've been enslaved on so many different levels in our religion, in our schools. These are death schools, guys. Spirit is saying they are death pools, cesspools, death pools. They are not of light. Children should not be in these sorts of environments. I mean, some schools are great, typically they're going to be private or they're going to be in, certain areas, but these things don't really cultivate an environment for a child to really grow, because the soul must grow too. We get a soul here, but it's up to us to grow it, to exercise the soul, just like a heart, just like the muscles of the heart, and to expand it. So I'm setting all of this up to say that I've already been in the vibration for God to pay all my bills, right? This has not been an overnight thing at all. I've had many lessons along the way, many things that I had to work through and grow through. But when I embarked on the 33-day fast, or did not eat food for 33 days, when I embarked on this, I didn't set out for God to pay my bills. I set out to heal, to feel better, to regain back oneness and wholeness within self, to really clear from a past relationship, to really feel worthy to be loved again, to allow myself to be loved, more importantly. Because once you really come into oneness with self, it becomes very special to you, and you start to feel that no one can give what the energy I give to myself, it's so good, right? It's so precious. It's so of this higher vibration that you start to think that no one else can give that to me. But there are other souls out here that can, guys. Never give up on love. I'm here to tell you, never give up on love, because love is the secret ingredient that makes this whole life work. And it's how you refine your soul. It's through loving, losing, and loving again, right? So never give up on love. But I just set out to really heal myself and really take up the space within my own energy field without anyone else there, without my ex there, without any friends or family. I just wanted to expand and take up space and heal and clear out energies. And when I did that, what I really truly invited in were all of those times that I said no, were all of those times that I said, oh, this can't possibly work for me, were all of those times when I blocked out my own blessings. They were waiting at heaven's door. They were waiting right out here. It was only for me to clear out the energies that no longer served me, that were no longer of the highest vibration and timeline and path for me. And once I did that, all of the blessings started to flood in, and it was effortless. And so I'm going to tell you about my manifestation of what Source Divine, God, the Most High, did for me. One day, I I just said, let me check my credit report. Let me just go on there and check my credit report, right? And all of a sudden, I go on there and I start looking, and I look at my student loans, and I'm like, okay, it's still very high because, like, I went to a private school, so it was just very high. And I've had multiple education along the way after after my first degree, right? So I went on there and I saw like 90,000. And I didn't think much about it. But then I looked back and it said last payment was $81,000. And I was like, huh? And then I looked again and it didn't say 91,000. It said 9,000. And so I was like, well, who paid the 81,000? Like, what? Like, I was like, this can't be real. And this was like maybe I think the last week of my fast. So I wasn't even off of the 33 days. I think it had only been like maybe 28 days or 29 days at that point. Right. And I was like, this cannot be real, girl. So, I call up the like my student loan servicer, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to inquire, about this $81,000 payment that I made, because like, trust me, if it's showing up there, girl, I ain't about to take it away by opening my big mouth, right? But they're like, oh yeah, I'm seeing that this payment was made on this date, and now you have, your new balance is just $9,000, and you know, and I'm like, when did this happen? They're like, I don't, we really can't find information, but if you call, Department of Education, they'll be able to know. So I called them and I checked with them, and they're basically confirmed that yeah, this payment was made. This was, charged off by the Department of Education. And this happened at the end of my 33-day fast, guys. So Source paid off over $81,000 of debt. This is what Source did for my obedience, for listening, for allowing the voice of Source in. Because Source is talking to us all the time, but many of us are not listening. We're listening to the world. We're too consumed with the world. So when I let Source in and I followed what Source said, I died to myself for 33 days and I was resurrected, so to speak, and $81,000 lighter. And so it's very interesting. I want to tell you guys this. So when I asked the Department of Education, well, when did this happen? Because you guys remember we were on that whole stop the student loan payment. So there was a time when my loan was transiting. It was not there and it wasn't here because they said, oh, this process started back in 2022. And guess what day did it start on? My birthday. Started on my birthday, guys. It actually started the day before my birthday, but it's very interesting, guys. I share two birthdays. I was born like in the cusp of like the 23rd and the 24th. Like so it's kind of like I could have been born on the 23rd or the 24th. On my birth certificate, it says the 24th. But from my mother's point of view, it was literally going right into midnight. So it's kind of that period of time. So I kind of have that as a collective birthday, those 2 days. And I know that this is true because a lot of my manifestations or kind of when I want to verify a message, I will see 623. 623 is a very powerful day for me. It just as 624, I do see as well. Just when my angels and ancestors want to send me a message or some guidance, right? So it happened on 623 is when the process started. But because everything was transiting, it was not done into what happened when they I think what they did was they opened back up the payments, but see, my loan had shifted to another servicer. So when I started to call about this a few months ago, I had no information on where my loan is because I know I needed to start making the payments again. So it was transiting, guys. And sometimes you are transiting. Sometimes things are being worked out because you already have done the work. You've already have been obedient. But guess what? Source didn't allow me to know that the process had started way back when, because I would have never continued the fasting. I would have never continued my healing journey. I would have never really grounded to my spiritual gifts and abilities and really came here and put myself out there to actually help you guys do the same, to train you guys. I would have probably never became a hypnotherapist. Like, it would have changed the timeline, right? I probably would have focused on some other things because, I used to be in real estate. I probably would be focusing more on that, and that would have been a whole nother timeline. But because this was a timeline I was supposed to be on, my sovereign I am path, that was hidden from me while I was transiting through all of these different energies. But trust me, if you are faithful to what? To the plan. Faithful to the plan, which is your plan, which is pressed upon your heart space, which is stamped with the approval from source. That thing that you've always wanted to do, that is your purpose, which is stamped, is given approval by source, located in your heart space. When you follow the authentic divine path, this is where the blessings are on. So that fast that I did, the 33 days, is when source said, I will release this blessing to you because, my child, you have removed the pains from the physical and spiritual bodies. You've removed it. So now the blessings that were already started for you 2 years ago can now come through. So this is how God paid my bills, over $81,000 through this 33-day fast. And so grateful, so thankful, so humbled by the way that source shows up. And because source shows up, and I want to always tell you guys, source will show up when you do the work. Source is always there. There is not ever been a time where source was not there. Source is in your DNA. Source has helped to code you along with your own self, which is part of source, right? There was never a time when you were not. There was never a time. It's just for you to get out of your own way. Remove the poison, all the medicines, the drugs, the alcohol, the stress, family pressures. Removing that is clearing space. You have to clear space out for what you say that you want. Most people don't want to clear out space. They don't want to let go of their tangibles. They don't want to let go of the feel goods to this body. You must die to yourself. It's the only way. It's the only way. And I tell people all the time, they're struggling with not really having their manifestations come to fruition. And I ask them, you got any bad habits? Oh yeah, I'm a drunk. I drink every night. There you go. Bingo. Once you remove that, once you rid yourself of the alcohol demons and spirits, that's why they call it alcohol and spirits, wine and spirits. Once you get rid of those spirits, which are really binding you to the lower frequencies, to the fear frequency, then you will simply have everything. Source didn't take nothing away. It's waiting right on the other side of your auric field. It's all right there. Just like me, it was right there, but it was just for me to get in control of my heart. My heart was too big and I did not manage my heart well. Your heart's connected to your soul. You don't just let anyone in. It's not a free for all for people to come in and do whatever they want. No, you need strong boundaries. Your shadow is to create the boundaries for your own protection. It goes in front of you and it sets boundaries. And when someone crosses it, they get met with rejection from your shadow. So it's there, guys. I'm here to tell you that God can absolutely pay all of your bills once you release the things that are keeping you in bondage, bind it down to the lower levels of this life. Once you release it, it creates space. It's like if you're trying to create more space on your computer, you have to delete some old files. You're going to have to give up some of that data in order to receive more. There's a storage issue that we've been having. Yes, we are infinite, but the body is not. This body is finite. Your soul is infinite. Your soul essence, your spirit consciousness is what's infinite. And we are trying to merge spirituality, infinite potentiality, in with a physical avatar, which does not truly mix. So we have to assist the body by clearing out files because that is what's finite. So there's only a certain amount of space. So yes, our soul and spirit is always working and it's infinite, but those tools cannot truly help you if you don't have room in the physical body to receive the blessing or the manifestation that you set out for. And so that's what fasting will help you do. So I want to let you guys know that God can absolutely pay all your bills when you clear out space on your shelf, right? Storage in your computer. That is you, that your hardware, which is the physical body. And so this was very beautiful. And I have such a beautiful relationship with Source, guys. It's unbelievable how Source speaks to me in every way in the middle of the night. There is not a time when Source is not guiding me. It's because of fasting. It's all because of fasting. I wouldn't be here today without fasting. I really wouldn't. And I really would not change my journey and all of the hardships that I've been through, because it's made me who I am. It's made me stronger, and it's made me fall in love with myself. And fasting showed me my own power and strength. It showed me my own will. It showed me that I am capable. It's been a very powerful healing modality. This is a healing modality. Absolutely. I'm going to pull one message from my book here, guys. And I am reading from page 106 of The Great Expansion, a Cosmic Bible for the Ages, guys. For instance, on the other side of the ice wall, someone must drive from point A to point B. They must wait for someone to speak before they respond. This is what I mean when I speak of time. Nevertheless, in Antarctica, the projector screen is like an empty sky with an outline around it. And whatever the man thinks, those images instantly project onto the screen. It is a world that you create on your own. This is how the entire earth is really meant to function, but it's being hidden from all of you. The elites give you the picture that they want you to see. They slow you all down too. This is why things must be done in chronological order, but really there is no such order. Everything is supposed to come all at once. All the information and knowledge should come all at once. That is what's on the other side of the ice wall. Wow. Guys, this book was a channel Bible. I opened up to a random page. You can't make this up. Works just like the Bible. And so what I was talking about is what is on the other side. So this is the other side of the ice wall. And then there's Antarctica on one side of the ice wall. And then there's this reality on this side. Well, what Source is saying is on the other side, where the Antarctica side is, it is a place where a man thinks and then it just manifests because it's a different energy field there. And so it's much more easy to manifest. Source is saying this is truly how this part of the ice wall on Earth, this energy that we're in, is supposed to function. Everything should come all at once. The answer and the problem and the solution should come all at once. But we have this thing called chronological order. That's not how Source works. Source gives you everything all at once because there are no limitations with Source. It's just, here's the thing with Source. Yes, you get it all at once, but now here's the trick. You must spend time attuning yourself to the frequency of that in which you already have in order for it to be expressed, which was exactly what happened to me during my 33-day fast. I had to attune myself to someone that was out of debt. And one of my prayer points was that my student loans would be paid off. I forgot to mention that. I was keeping a prayer journal, right? So I would wake up and do my morning pages in my prayer journal every day. And that was one of my things that I wrote, is that I would be out of debt, that my student loans would be dissolved. And that's exactly what happened, because the mind is what creates. All is mind, all is mind, all is mind. You have to know this. The power is in the mind, the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind, the soulful mind. The unconscious mind is the super subconscious, the soul mind, the Akashic mind, the Akashic soul. All is mind. Source is mind. We are all thoughts in the one mind of Source God, the Most High. And that's the point. Yes, I got the blessing back then when I was actually going through really, really depressive time, when my spouse had just left and abandoned me because of my views and my spirituality, because of who I am today, is why I lost that. But I would never be who I am today had I still had that. So everything worked out, and I had already received this debt-free status back then during prayers, during me manifesting, during the time that I am crying out into the ethers and the universe. This was all coming in, but the problem is I had too much in my energy field to even attune myself to someone that is the quantum currency, that is not binded down by debt. It took time to get there. So everything that Source gives us, we already have it. In truth, we have it at birth. And every time we live a life, we learn a lesson, we fall down, we get back up, we strive even higher. We now attune ourselves to higher frequencies. And on those higher frequencies are the higher versions of yourself. There is a debt-free version of yourself on those higher frequencies. There is a higher version of yourself who's in a loving relationship, partnership, or marriage. There is a version of yourself where you are just infinite love and you just hold the vibration of that. There is a timeline for every season. Every season has a timeline. I am a living testament. My life is a testimony. It is a testimony, and God can absolutely pay all of your bills. And so in truth, guys, I want to tell you something else that happened that year. It wasn't just that $81,000 that started back there on my birthday. And I received it because I cleared out my energy field to receive the frequency of being debt-free during my 33-day fast. But also in that same year, I had another big business debt because of my business went under because of COVID. And so Source paid another $80,000 off for me. I did not receive that knowledge of that till much later, It was either the tail end of 2022 or early 2023. It was actually 2022, but the process started in 2020. So that was also a 2-year delay. So I had to attune myself to someone that didn't have that debt. And now I had to attune myself to someone that didn't have student loan debt. So I say that to say that is about attuning ourselves. Source wants us to know you have to attune to the frequency, the vibration of what you want to hold, of what you want to call in for yourself. You have to attune. And I did that through fasting. When I started fasting in 2020, I was already clearing that debt in 2020 during that massive stint of fasting, like 7 months hardcore fasting, right? I had more fasting days than eating days during that 7-month period. I had already done the work, but I did not receive that blessing, that first $80,000 being discharged till 2 years later when I grew and when I attuned to the frequency of someone that did not carry such debt, right? So I think that I've said it in this video. I'm going to come back and tell you guys a little bit more about the ancestral strongholds that I broke on my maternal line and my paternal line through fasting. I truly am one of the souls in my family that's standing in the gap for the entire family to break these generational curses and these strongholds so that the ones that are coming after me will have a better life. They will be not born into bondage, being held down by such things, guys. So each one teach one. I love you guys, the birds, the bees, and all of the trees. I'll love you too. And guys, if you want to book a session with me, quantum telekinetic reading with energy healing, I do have it discounted. The link is down below, or please email me instructions number 4 humanity at gmail.com if you would like to do this kind of help out with your own fast. And we'll do that through the Ascension program where we're helping you to expand, to fast and release, guys. But love is the way. Forgiveness is the key. And truth is the absolute light that will always, always guide us home. Be well. Be well, guys. Bye. I can give you hearts. There we go. Hearts. Bye.